What's up everybody? Alex from AD Detail, Auto and Marine Detailing, located in central Wisconsin. In this video, we're going to be removing a door panel, the side mirror, and the exterior door handle of this AMG G63. We are removing it because we are installing paint protection film on the exterior of the vehicle, and we do seamless installs where we wouldn't want to seam where the mirror or door handle are. So let's get right into it. Okay, so let's get right into the tools needed for this job. I guess we'll start with some plastic interior pry panel tools, non-marring. We use Torx heads for the bolts. We'll have a Torx 30 and a Torx 25. I have a pick tool handy in case I need it for some of the plugs to remove the door panel off the door itself. I have a magnet ready to help extract some of the bolts out of the deep into the door panel so that we don't drop them down into the door. I have a little pry tool for some plastic push pins that are in there. And I also have a small impact drill here. I use this for removal of the bolts, but I use the hand ones to put them back in so that I don't cause any kind of damage to them. So pretty straightforward and pretty easy on this door panel. Well, to get started here, what you can do is pull this door handle out and get your pry tool behind it, and you can get pretty deep into there, and basically just closing this door handle will help pop that open. Try that again. And then from there you just kind of work your way around. It's got just a couple metal clips in there. Slowly working your way down, and then there's a hinge down in this end here. So you don't want to pull this end straight out. You want to kind of pull this out and hinge and pull. There's a plastic cup that's also behind this door handle here. If you pull it open, you'll see like a little window for you to get another plastic tool in there to help pry that out. Pretty simple. Then we're going to want to remove this handle up here. I start back here in this upper back corner. And again, this should just pry off of there, find a good safe spot to kind of get it started. And then I just kind of slide my tool down and get started. These all pop off pretty easy, pretty simple, which is really nice. At this point, all of your bolts are exposed that you need to remove. So there's one behind the door handle here, one here, there's two in this door, and then there's one more up here. These 4 bolts that you just removed are going to be different length than some of the other ones. You're going to want to keep those separate for the door panel. From here, you can get the door panel popped off. You can kind of find a good spot. I try to kind of start my tool on it, and I'll slide it a little sideways to get it underneath it. And then you'll find a pressure point where a pin will pop. And I just kind of keep working my way around until I get my fingers there, and then it pops pretty nicely. Once you get the push pins popped off, the door kind of comes straight up to get it off the window sweep here. After we're off, kind of got to sneak behind and get the door handle latch out. From there, you just pull it straight towards the door, and there's like a little hammer sliding on the cable, and that should release your door handle. From here, we have window regulators and locks. Pretty simple. You can get them with your finger. The pick tool will help as well, but they're fairly simple to kind of get to that little tab you need to push in to pull out. Door panel's off. Pretty simple. Okay, so now for here, to get to the exterior door handle as an example, again, we'll need our T30 Torx. So here you got 2 bolts. You just need to take the inside bolt out, or I should say the outside bolt that's closest to the handle. Now we're gonna wanna pull this foam back a little bit so that we can access the other bolt that holds this door handle in. This has just got like this rubbery kind of sealant on here. You just can peel that back. Just be careful with the foam so you don't tear the foam. And you don't need to take the whole thing off. You just need to expose where this bolt is. So once you get this peeled back to about here, you should have this last bolt here exposed. From this one, I'm using my handle one. My drill one doesn't get in there. Plus, you don't want to drop this down in the door panel. That probably wouldn't be fun. With this bolt, you actually don't even need to take it all the way out. You just have to get it a little loose while hanging onto the handle on the outside. And then you can take the door handle and slide it this way and then out. And that removes the exterior door handle. There's no electric plugs on this one or anything. It's just kind of a push pin, which is nice. If this door closes without the door handle on it, you can reach through the outside and push on the plate that's in there just to pop it open. Now we're going to want to remove this plastic trim around the window. This has two little rubber push pins here, and that's where I'm going to use that little push pin pry tool to pull those out. Once those are out, you can get it started. There's plastic clips that are just kind of, or metal clips I should say, that are kind of just posted around this, and they all pop out pretty simple. Just be careful that you don't crack the plastic, you know, flexing it. Just work your way around. Now we have the mirror bolts exposed that we need to get to. There's 3 little plastic sticker covers on these. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. You just can peel them off. I set them right aside because obviously we want to put them back on when we're done here. And that's just going to expose your 3 bolts for your mirror there. You're going to want to remove a couple of the mirror plugs prior to unbolting it so you don't have to wrestle with that. These kind of pull straight out of their little holders here. You can slide the clips to get them out. They have a little push pin on them that you just got to push here. Then they also go into this module, door module here. There's 2 of them, white one and a black one. What's nice about Mercedes in general is all of these modules have like little color coding dots on them, which will make it easy to putting all these back in, because the door panel ones are blue as an example, and these ones are white and black, and they're all labeled so you know exactly where they have to go. So now that the mirror is completely disconnected and loose, we'll pop out this grommet. We'll push it in a little bit so that that's, again, not hanging us up. Once we get the bolts removed, then we can pull that mirror off. So the mirror is where we use the Torx 25. Again, I used the handle one. These are going to be deep in these 3 pocket doors. I would be careful to not drop them into the door panel on removing them. This is where having a second hand hold the mirror as you take them out could be helpful as well. So what I do is I remove the bottom 2 first, and then I remove the top one last, just so the mirror doesn't like tip down and make it more difficult and possibly cause damage. Magnet. And that's how you remove the mirror. So now from here we can remove the window sweep. We already have this one tinted, but you can remove the window sweep, tint the windows. And now we have, this is a double-sided tape, piece of plastic that's just on here, so you can take your string and remove that, clean up the tape. And now we can install paint protection film across this whole door seamlessly, and then just cut out our little holes here. Like I had mentioned before, if you do happen to close this door, there's just a push plate in here that you can push to reopen, which is really nice. So for reassembly, obviously you just reverse the order. So I appreciate you watching, and catch you next time.